How much are you worth? How much are you worth? It seems like such an inappropriate question. And yet one of the final mitzvahs that we have in Sefer Vayikra at the end of Parshas Bechukosai is the mitzvah of arachin. The Torah tells us that if somebody chooses to donate his or her value to the Beis HaMikdash, he says, Harei erko alai, my value is upon me, then there's a table that is used to determine exactly how much must be paid. What factors are taken into account? 2 factors, age and gender. All you need to do is to plug in those 2 pieces of information and you'll easily discover how much of a donation is required. But that's it. There's nothing else. There are no other factors that go into the value of a human being, of a person. And Rashi too seems to be bothered by this. And he tells us that the Gemara in Megillah teaches us that there is a difference between erech, meaning value, and demei, and the money of somebody. When we try to determine the value of a person's life, how? When it comes to erech, it's based on that table. When it comes to damim, a person's value on the slave market, where not only age and gender, but the person's physical strength, talents, other considerations are part of the calculation, are part of the cheshbon. So in fact, there are 2 very different ways to determine the value of a person in the context of hektish. The person's damim and the person's erech. The person's damim are a complete reflection of who the person is, while the erech is just age and gender, nothing more. What's the significance of having 2 different formulations? What is the Torah trying to teach us? So in every field, there are people who are experts. There are people who are superstars. The Michael Jordans, the Babe Ruths in sports, the Albert Einsteins, and Marie Curie's in science. Every field has its experts. People who impact the world in unique ways. What makes these people different? Are they simply born this way? And suddenly they unleash tremendous breakthroughs out of nowhere? It does not seem to be that case. It seems to be that it requires a lot of effort, it requires a lot of work to become a superstar. And that seems to be what the Torah is trying to get at. It's not enough to have talent. The talents need to be developed. Yes, certain people have greater innate talent, but without working hard, they are going to remain undeveloped. Every person is given the opportunity to choose how to approach life, and certainly it's true in our avodas Hashem and our spiritual lives. A person could choose to be satisfied with a basic set of skills that he or she is given, and almost passively go through life without engaging and working in our lives of Kedusha. Being satisfied with the bare minimum. That's the erech of a person. That's the erech of a person. But a person's damim is the unique and higher value that develops as a person becomes individualized, as a person continues to grow. Yes, it technically takes into account physical factors as well, but the Torah reminds us that more deeply the uniqueness that certainly is required in the life of Avodas Hashem is that we have to toil, we have to work. The Torah tells us, yes, there are certain things that are the bare minimum, but don't settle for the bare minimum. We need to try and go beyond our erech and work to fulfill our damim. It's our lives that as we engage fully in a life of Kedusha life, as we challenge ourselves, as we take things that may be difficult where we are right now and figure out how to move in that direction, as we finish up the period of Sfiras Omer and ready ourselves so soon for Kabbalas HaTorah, are we ready? Do we want it? What are we going to do with this gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us? And when we figure out what it is that we are going to do, then we can work towards that goal. And hopefully, the Kabbalas HaTorah that we will experience will be one that will be filled with tremendous, tremendous bracha and hatzlacha.